crazy weekend. The Afghanistan thing still going on. College football kicked off on Saturday, which was a hoot. There were about 5 or 6 games, and they paced them out perfectly, so you could watch college football from like noon until like 11 o'clock at night.
Then you're not going
great.
out.
I absolutely loved it. And then, of course, Hurricane Ida, just an amazing story, catastrophic. We're still waiting for the fallout on that one, hitting on the day. 16 years ago. It's hard to believe with Hurricane Katrina. The winds were so strong. There was a negative flow outside New Orleans in the Mississippi River, which means the Mississippi River was flowing backwards, which is hard to believe. And I love analogies. Hurricanes are like being in an abusive relationship.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's super good. Go ahead.
You're living in the Crescent City. You're living down in Destin. You're living down in Corpus, wherever the hurricane's going to hit. It's great. It's beautiful. It's all good when the storms, and then all of a sudden, about 3 or 4 times a year, something happens. You know it's coming. Could be a hand upside the face.
Right.
Could be him or her cheating on you. There's going to be a blowout where someone's going to be sleeping outside the house, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen 3 or 4 times a year. You just try to get to the storm, and then it's all good again. Yet you stay in the abusive relationship. You start weighing the pluses and minuses. It's so beautiful down here, the sun, and it's warm, and it's great. But you're down there boarding up the windows, knowing he's about ready to do some stupid, dumbass thing again, and you're willing to put up with it for about a week, and then everything seems to be okay again. All of a sudden, the sky's clear, and you're like, whew, I made it through another one, until he screws up or she screws up again.
Yeah.
And I just, listen, I love the coast. I love the beach. I love New Orleans. We know what New Orleans is. It's a big, giant bowl. We know it could take 5 inches of rain an hour. They're getting 7 right now, and so there's going to be havoc. It's going to be wreaking havoc, and so it's kind of like one of those things where I just wonder. And I know after Katrina 16 years ago, some people just said, "I've had enough.
Yeah.
I can't do it." We have a lot of subplants that came up from New Orleans that live here in the Birmingham area. They're all over the Southeast. And I understand the culture. I understand everything that New Orleans stands for. I understand people that don't want to leave. I understand people that will buckle down during a Category 4 saying, I'm not leaving. I get all that stuff. I got lots of friends of mine that live on the coast. They have vacation homes down there, and I understand what they go through. But yet, you just know that 3 or 4 times a year, it's going to be pure hell in your life. And, for most people, they have vacation homes that are insured, and it's like, okay, we'll go buy another boat or we'll buy another house. But for people that live down there, abusive relationship.
You really don't know. I mean, it's going to happen. Think about this. It's going to happen. You don't know when.
It's not it's not a matter of if. It's going to happen.
I know, but you don't know when. You don't know how bad it's going to be this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if it's going to be, it's coming, but it could be a near miss. Just a little bit.
Yep.
This is terrible, but I was starting to think of weather analogies. I mean, earthquakes are the same thing. The difference is in a hurricane, you know that it's coming.
Yep.
There's some warning there, right? There's warning signs, but you're so wedded very often to where you are. This is my home. This is what I love, that you see it, and interesting. And you see it, and some people evacuate, right? Some people leave. But then they come right back.
Yep.
Others stay in and they get hit straight on. Others leave the relationship and they say,
and I get you on the earthquakes, but earthquakes are so far and few between. And depending,
there's not a season. You're right. There's not a season.
There's not.
Yeah, but that's really bad. Let me tell you.
Well, it's an abusive relationship. I think there's seasons in abusive relationships sometimes too, depending on what time of the year it is. Is it college football time? Is he drinking more? Is she drinking more? I mean, there's different seasons there for abusive relationships. With hurricanes or with earthquakes, a lot of them are in countries where they're on the rim of fire, or you talk about Haiti, which is
or L.A.
or L.A. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Haiti is sheer bliss to live in,
right?
And so it's kind of like, what more can these people take on? But California, you can certainly make that argument. But I mean, you're talking about once a generation, once every 100.
Oh, all time. Little tremors all time.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not devastating.
No.
It's not devastating.
You never know, the little tremor.
It's rain like here. A tremor there is like a rain shower here.
No.
It's like thunder going off and your power
going off.
But
the difference is when
when you're talking about something that can blow your house off its foundations.
No, I understand. But an earthquake, you'd crack and fall down in the middle.
I just wonder because I've always wanted to retire and go down to the beach.
Yes,
now
I
it
do,
looks like
yeah.
it's going to be another 20 or 30 years before I get a chance to do that.
Oh.
But yeah, and in a perfect world, I'd have enough money and I would build something that was able to withstand 150 mile an hour winds. It would be good, but it's still going to wreak havoc.
Absolutely.
But there are people down there that have smaller places that aren't built for those kind of things. And I had a friend of mine. Where are you going? We're running down to New Orleans. Stuart Rome, our good friend's got a place down in New Orleans.
Actually, we need
to reach out to him at Woodhouse Day Spa. And he's got a business down there. And I understand that. I mean, I get that. But again, they're going down. We're going to be down there all weekend boarding up. We're going to get the hell out before it hits. And then hopefully we go down there and our place is still standing. I'm like, man. And they just love it so much. You know, it outweighs the negative.
Well, they love it at
aspects
a
of it.
level that like you and I and a lot of other people who are scratching their heads don't.
Yeah.
Right? It's not in our soul. It's not in our soul. And you can look at them. I mean, you can look and go, "What are you doing?" It's crazy. And it's both people who. I mean, to me, the tragic part, and you hear this a lot in some of the parishes when they interview them on national TV. Obviously, evacuations, they're pulling people out, but you hear a lot of times that these are people. A lot of times they don't have the means. They can evacuate, but they're not going to just pick up and move someplace. Oh, we're going to relocate to Austin.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a home that is a one bedroom. You don't have the financial means to pick up and leave and relocate.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get out of storm's way, but of course you're coming back. What else are you going to do? And that happened. I mean, that happened during Katrina. I think a lot of us learned what I don't think we ever understood. Why didn't they evacuate? Or and there was logistic problems. But then the other is, why did they go back? Because they had to.
Yeah.
What are you going to buy? A 2-bedroom condo in Texas?
Yeah.
If you don't have any money.
Yeah.
And that's the sad
there's a big difference between living somewhere or you're from that area. And certainly a lot of people down in New Orleans are from that area. I get that. I do get that. But for people who have vacation homes, which is 90% of the people that go down to the coast for any particular reason, you just wonder at one point, it's like, why do you keep putting yourself through this?
Yeah.
Is it really worth it?
Well, and the insurance companies are jacking it up and up and up and up.
Yeah. It's scary. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by the storms.
We are going to check in on Stuart today.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that listen down there to KCAS Radio and the Tony Curry Radio Network and Kurre and Klapow, but it's like I just can't imagine what they're going through to know that's coming. And again, it's one of those things too, like you said, it's coming. It's just nothing you can do.
See how much crap Al Roker got?
What, standing in the storm and all that garbage? Yeah.
Do you know? Did you see there was a CNN reporter? Did you see this one? So they all stand out there. I thought this one was great. CNN reporter. He's standing between two concrete walls, and he's doing. You notice how they've changed now because they've gotten so much crap. Now they'll describe why they're safe.
Yeah.
That's changed a lot. It used to be this out there. What do you do? So the CNN reports standing in between two concrete walls, and you can see stuff behind him, like just trees flying by. And he made this comment. He's like, now, I'm not a large man. He's on live. He's like, I'm not a large man. Yep. I'm 5'10". I weigh about 150 pounds. To just give you some sort of analogy, if this man, myself, stood out there, my ass, he's like, my ass would have been blown down. And I was quick. He's like, oh, I think I just shared too much information.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable when you see a tree flying by.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw the tornadoes up here. Cars impaled.
It's only a matter of time in our lifetime we see a weather person get killed live on air.
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be great.
Well, I don't know what killed. I mean, definitely severely injured.
Something, yeah.
Something, because even if you're in between.
Yeah, it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But we want to see it.
Absolutely.
I've seen it a million times, and I wanted to see Jim Cantore standing in that thing.
Every time we complain.
Yeah.
And can you imagine if they did some moratorium and they somehow got everybody to stop? First station that went back and did it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody'd be watching. Hey, did you hear? It'd be all over Twitter. Did you hear?
Yeah.
So-and-so's out there.
Everyone's trying to get the shot.
We want to see it.
We do want to see it. And as, to your point, when I'm watching yesterday, I'm watching landfall at 11:55, and I don't see people being blown off the street. I'm like, why the hell they set up over here? Get in the middle of the storm. That's what you're getting paid for. I want to see this.
It says something about the audio. I know we'll move on to that, but it does say something about it. The communication is very clear.
It is very good. It is amazing.
Isn't it? Like how
yeah.
you can.
But it can't be too clear. It can't
No,
be
because
too
if it's too clear, then it's like he's not.
No,
they're not
yeah,
there.
yeah. And then
There's got to be a little
then
bit
the camera guy wiping the lens off.
Yeah,
like,
that was
and
good.
I'm like,
Did
stop.
you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, and the camera guy wipes the lens off. That's great.
You know what they need to wipe the lens off of? On the top of the buildings when they're spotting tornadoes, because they got nobody up there wiping lenses off.
Yeah, that's happened. And sometimes you get dead bugs.
Send
on there.
somebody up the top of the building so we can see that tornado coming through.